Our Christian speaker tonight is Pastor Keith Piper. Pastor Keith Piper completed his Bachelor of Science with honors in 1975 from Sydney University in the field of synthetic organic chemistry. The following year, he completed his Diploma of Teaching from Sydney Teachers College and taught physics and chemistry at Chatswood High School in 1977. In 1990, he pivoted and went on to graduate in theology from Sydney Bible Baptist College. Then in 1983, he founded the Liberty Baptist Church in Carlingford, which he continues to pastor to this day. He has also worked as a financial planner from 1981 to 1991. Pastor Piper is an educationalist who has authored many books on Christianity and has taught in Bible colleges across Australia, India, the Philippines, and the United States. He professes to have a strong interest in the Bible and in understanding Islam and is committed to helping people become sure of knowing God and be sure of going to heaven. I now invite Pastor Keith Piper to the stage. Please greet him with a round of applause.
Thank you so much for your introduction. I do appreciate. What do I sit here? Oh, not now? When do I start?
Sure. Our Muslim speaker for tonight is Brother Waseem Razvi. Brother Waseem is an electronics engineer by profession and also the founder-president of IRIA. He is an exceptional presenter of Islam to non-Muslims in the tradition of Sheikh Ahmad Didat and Brother Imran. He was mentored and trained by Brother Imran, the president of IRIF in India, in the field of Islam, comparative religion, and oratorship in a unique intensive DAWAH training program. Brother Waseem clarifies Islamic viewpoints and clears misconceptions about Islam. Using the Quran, authentic hadith, and other religious scriptures as a basis in conjunction with reason, logic, and scientific facts. He is popular for his critical analysis and convincing answers to challenging questions. His talks are appreciated by one and all for his unique style of presentation and his memory to quote verses from the Quran and books of hadith. He also comfortably quotes verses from various scriptures of other religions. Brother Waseem has been active in the field of Islamic dawah in Australia for nearly 20 years. He has been a regular speaker and khatib at various masajids, dawah centers, and universities around Victoria. He has also given talks in multiple countries and continents across the Middle East, Southeast Asia, Oceania, North America, and Europe. He is also the vision behind the Australian Islamic Peace Conference, first held in 2013 in Melbourne. I invite Brother Waseem to the stage as well. Please greet him with a round of applause. Before we begin our first session of the evening, I'd like to get the organizers to present a gift to our humble guest, Pastor Keith Piper. Would you do me the honors, please?
Everyone's safe here. It's one of the iconic ones with the biblical verses presented. No, it's not.
I fully believe there's a sword in there.
So I'm going to give it back and maybe take it after.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Before we start, I'd like to inform you all of the schedule for the format of tonight's debate. As the guest of IRIA, Pastor Keith Piper will commence with his presentation on the topic for 20 minutes, after which Brother Waseem, on behalf of IRIA as the host, will give his presentation for also the 20 minutes. I'll let the speakers know when their 5 minutes are left and remind them again to wrap up in the last minute. Our second session will be the rebuttal round, where each speaker will have 10 minutes each to present their rebuttal arguments, and we'll start in the same order as of the speakers. Our third session will be a counter rebuttal, where each speaker will have just 3 minutes to respond. By then, 3 or 5 minutes. By then, we should get close to the time for Maghrib prayer, and we'll take a break for about 20 minutes. Maghrib will be prayed in the space in the rooms on level 1, community room 1, I'm told. Please ask the volunteers if you need any assistance where the bathrooms and toilets are and other amenities. After the break, we'll come back into the same hall, and we'll continue with our remainder of the session. And the session after the break will be the Q&A session, which will run for approximately an hour. We'll see how we go. We'll then conclude the event with both of our speakers giving a quick closing remark for about 5 minutes. Now, before we begin, I'd like to mention some important housekeeping rules. During the course of the debate, I urge everyone to respect the speakers and not disturb or interject them with your own questions or comments. Save your questions to the Q&A session. There will be ample opportunity for everyone to ask their questions to the speakers during the Q&A. So don't worry about if we get to the end before our session ends. The speakers will be, I'm told, outside for a short bit to take your questions if there's any more. ARIA also can be contacted by email on info@ariaworld.org if you wanted to discuss anything one-to-one, even after the event tonight via email, or organize for a one-on-one face-to-face discussion as well. Applauding the speakers either by clapping or by saying takbir is acceptable as long as it's not used in a way to interrupt or prevent them from speaking. I, as the moderator, am fully authorized to take steps to stop any disruptive behavior. Also, I'd just like to mention lastly that there's 2 fire exits. In the case of any fire alarms going off, we'll be making a calm and orderly exit from the venue and gathering at the Paul Keating Park that's just outside the event venue. So having said all of that and getting that out of the way, without taking any further time, I'd like to invite Pastor Keith to give his presentation. Give him a round of applause.
Thank you very much. Very important to, the Bible says, prove all things, because we live and Jesus said, let no man deceive you. And we have to be so careful that we're not deceived, because we've got to ask for the proofs of everything. Now, the title of this meeting is the Bible a Divine Revelation? And the title of my message is God's Tests if a book is a divine revelation. Does that book rightly predict the future? None of us knows the future of our own intelligence, but God knows the future. Would you agree with that? And so in the book of Deuteronomy 18, 21 to 22, it says, God asks the question, if thou say in your heart, how shall we know the word which Jehovah has not spoken? When a prophet speaks in the name of Jehovah, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which Jehovah has not spoken, but the prophet has spoken it presumptuously, you shall not be afraid of him. So the test is, if someone says, I am a prophet of God, you say, okay, tell us the future. And when it comes true, we'll have some reason to believe you. But if the prophet never predicts the future, or predicts the future and gets it wrong, they failed the test that Jehovah God gives.